welcome to the show. Good to have you on 932. That's right, number 932 is about to get going. Oh, yeah. Welcome in. We got about a minute left, guys. We're going to get going. Oh, yeah. Yep. You guys ready for a countdown? Let's get this thing going. I feel like we should get this show on the road. We should get this program kicking. Here we go. And here we go for the countdown for the peoples. Shooby dooby wah. Here it is, the splash, and then comes the pain of seeing me ugly mug. You know, it's like somebody told me one time, you have a face made for radio. I used to be on the radio, actually. I used to have I've been on the radio a lot. I started in, WAEY in Princeton, West Virginia. On Sunday mornings, I'd go in and do all the preachers and Christian music. I got to 5:30. I was like 13 years old. I ended up having a show later called The Touch of the Spirit Show. We played contemporary Christian music, and we did like interviews with people. It was pretty cool. I liked it. Made lots of friends and had lots of fun there on the radio with them. How's everybody doing? Let me give some shouts. Like Mr. David Williamson from down in, I guess you still live in South Carolina, still here. The one and only. The one and only. Amazing Fingers? I don't know, maybe not. Hey, Nicholas, what's up? Hey, Trish, and there's Mary and Cassandra's here. Carolyn got in, and Peggy made it. Hey, Peggy and Lisa and Patty and Pauline and the other Patties. You guys ready to sing a little bit? I've been trying. You know, what takes me so long to get ready for this show is trying to get this thing going. Trying to get this cranked up with all that. You know, and I talk about it every day. You get sick of hearing it. Hey, by the way, today's number 932. 932 programs. That's right, 932 of these things. And we've been hanging. Hey, Denise, over there on somebody else is on Periscope, but I can't see their name. Give me a shout out so I can see who you are. And, we're on 5 locations. We're on 2 YouTube pages, long story, 2 Facebook pages, longer story, and on Periscope, which has basically become useless almost. But I think I'm being shadow banned over there. It's a new song that's been going around. I really love it a lot. And I've done it a lot on the show already because I can't get enough. Sorry, as I think about the love of God and His goodness, I don't know, it's overwhelming. If you knew my story, which you know, but you don't really know the depths of my heart and what my life was like and where God brought me from, where He took me to. In fact, I'm going to talk tonight. Last week on Wednesday, I talked about the fear of the Lord. You should really go watch that. Not because I'm awesome or anything, but just the content, the information contained there kind of set some doctrinal straightness in the church because the church is messed up. Tonight I'm going to do a little bit of a contrast talking about the grace of God. So anyway, that's that. Maybe next week's show. I don't know, maybe so. So you guys ready to sing this one? I want to sing this one, so. I've been held in your hand. the moment that I wake up till I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Love your voice. You have led me through the fire in a darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I've lived in the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Yeah. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now, give you everything. Your goodness is running after me, yeah. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now, give you everything, Lord. Your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now, give you everything, God. Your goodness is running after me. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I'll sing of the goodness of God. Yes, I will sing of the goodness of God. I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I sing of the goodness of God. Yeah, 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 yeah. You've been so good to me, Lord. I'm so unworthy of your love. I surrender everything to you, God. Oh, your goodness is running after me. When I think about the Lord and His goodness is running after me, God. Oh. Thank goodness it's not based on my worthiness, because I'm unworthy. And He is so faithful, such a faithful God. I love that song so much, only because of what it's saying. I throw a few country licks in. I like to throw the country licks on that song. I don't really know why I do that, but anyway, I like it. Hey, how's everybody doing? Thanks, Cherie. Good morning. And thank you so much, Mary, for all you guys' sweet comments. Hey, Carol, how are you doing? And Lisa's, everybody's throwing in some comments. Hello, Nick. How you doing, buddy? Good to have you guys on the show. We're talking about progress this week. We're talking about that moving forward thing. I downloaded a little picture. You want to see it? It's sort of like, when you're on your computer and you're like, okay, are we going anywhere? And you're like, come on, download. I want to install, whatever. Sometimes you got things in the way you got to move. Sometimes you got to go get those viruses out or whatever. But I want you to think about it. Skylar wanted to hear this. Well, cool. Hey, Skylar, what's up? We're talking about progress, and we're talking about your progress and mine. Here's some things that we've said this week, that basically sometimes you got to back up before you can pull up. Sometimes you got to look in your past. Me too, Peggy. You got to look in your past and see what it is that might be hindering your progress. Because we talked this week about things in your life that could be hindering your progress. What in your life is hindering? We ask you, at the beginning of the week, we said, hey, are you progressing in passion and discipleship and obedience in your calling? And, a lot of believers aren't. They're stuck where they were the day they got saved. They really never moved on because they never dealt with things. Hey, Kim. Never dealt with things in their past. And so here's what I ended up with yesterday. You can't pursue the future while you're shackled to the past. You can't pursue the future while you're shackled. I remember I was having a counseling session with a little girl, and I've told the story on here before. She'd been severely molested by a family member who was actually dead and had been dead for 20 years. So it had been 20 years since anything had gone on. I'm sorry about the coughing. But that person was still bound by those 20 years ago and all the things that happened before those 20 years. Still, and I said to that person, how many more years of your life you're going to give to a person, a dead person that's gone? Can't touch you anymore. So you cannot move into your future while you're still shackled to the past. And I think shackled is a good word because many of us are really bound. We're just like bound by our pasts. And I want you to think about this. There comes a time in the life of every believer when they have to make a crucial progress decision. Moving forward, go Peggy, go. I'll cheer you on. I'll stand on the sidelines. I'll be in that cloud of witnesses. There comes a time in the life of every believer when they have to make a crucial progress decision. Move on or hold on. And I want to ask you today, which one of those decisions are you caught up in? Are you holding on or moving on? Are you holding on to the things that have wounded you, hurt you? We gave a list if you want to go back and watch. I think it was yesterday's show. Things that could have happened, hurt, disappointment, pain, loss, all the things that keep us from moving. And so the question becomes, are you still holding on? Are you ready to move on? And sometimes when you tell people it's time to move on, it seems impersonal and it seems like you don't care or you're being harsh. But no, you love somebody. You got to speak into their life and say, look, hon, you can't live in this. You can't just wallow and lay down and just give up life. And that's the temptation, right? Just to quit and just say, well, I'm saved. I'm going to sit here and clutch my memories and just wait for Jesus to take me to heaven. But that's not what you were saved for. God has greater plans for your life than that. So you can't just stick in the past. I understand it hurt. I do get it. Ask Peggy. She's 80 years old. I bet she could give you some stories about her life and her past and things that she's held on to or could have held on to but had to let go of. And so, hey, Catherine. And so I want you to think about that. Are you ready? There comes a time in the life of every believer when you have to make a crucial progress decision. Move on or hold on. Move on or hold on. Which one are you? Here's some things about that. If you choose to hold on, then you know you can't move on. Today, I want you to understand something. It is impossible to move forward when you're tethered to the past. You just can't. So if you hold on, and I know you may have justification. I get that. You probably do have justification. The stuff that was done or happened was bad or wrong or terrible. You're a victim. I mean, I get it. Nobody's saying those things aren't true. But what we're saying is none of us should allow those things to dictate tomorrow. They've already ruined those moments in the past, and maybe for some of us, every moment since. How many more moments are we going to give away to those things? But God goes before us. Amen. If you decide to hold on, then you can't move on. So just make this decision today. Whatever it is in your life that you're clinging to, that really is not a healthy thing, just know you're going to be stuck right there for how much longer. In fact, can we do that? Can we just go ahead? Let's make a note, and let me ask you, how many more months or years are you gonna sit there and that be held? Let's say a month. Okay, I'll give it 30 more days. Why? I'm going to give it one more year of my life. Why would you do that? What about the call of God? What about those people that you need to reach or touch with the message of love that Christ has? So if you decide to hold on, you can't move on. But I'm going to tell you something else too. If you decide to move on, you sure enough can't hold on. You got to let go. You got to let go. You have to. I know it's hard to do. Hey, Jessica. It's hard to do sometimes. Nobody is saying that letting go and moving forward is easy, but it's necessary. And I want you to know you'll be the happiest person as you move on. And it doesn't mean, for some people in grief, I said this on Sunday, for some people who are in grief, who've lost somebody, they feel like if I move on and try to get back to living life and following God, then I don't love that person. It's like a statement that I don't care, and that's just not true. And that person, if you were able to bring them back and sit down and say, okay, we're going to reverse. In a couple of days, you're going to be gone. Do you want me just to be depressed and sit here and do nothing the rest of my life? And of course they would say, of course not. You got to live. You got to move on. So we got to go forward. So if you choose to hold on, you can't move on. If you choose to move on, you cannot hold on. And here's something I don't know. I think we'll kind of rest on this for the rest of the day of this show. It all comes down to value. It all comes down where you place value. You say, well, how do I determine value? Well, do you value the past over the future? Do you value because, here you sit and you have all this potential for tomorrow, and potential is nothing. It just means there's a possibility. Nothing's happening. You could have all the potential in the world. You could have the biggest airplane in the world. If you don't put any fuel in it and crank the engines, it's just nothing. But potential, in the past is seen by a lot of people as a good word. I think it's a bad word. Only because of this. If you have potential, it means you're doing nothing. You're doing nothing. You got to get active to see that potential come to life. So do you value the past or the future? And the answer lies in which one. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? The answer lies in which one dominates your life. Are you a person that lives most of your life thinking and living and reliving and trying to disprove or reprove or the past? Or are you that person that has moved on and if somebody asks you, you have a testimony, but you're not living there. You're not camped out in the stuff that just destroyed your life. The answer lies in which one dominates. Does your destiny and your calling and what you're doing for the Lord? I got a text today, and I thought that's a pretty cool thing from one of the places I follow. It said how to get people who are self-initiators in your church. Today some of you out there have the call of God, and you're stuck in the past, and you're waiting for the pastor. Pastor, would you just come and ask me to do something? Man, be a self-starter. Get going. Go to the pastor and say, Pastor, I feel like I want to help feed the poor. I want to do this ministry. I want to minister to children. I feel like we need a youth group. But no, I can't do that. Why? Well, because this stuff happened years ago, and I got to think about that. I'm wounded now, and I'm a victim. Man, I could have lived my life as a victim, but I decided not to. Progress. So let me ask that question again. Okay, here's the question. Do you value the past or the future? And the answer is, which one dominates your life? Which of those dominate your life? If you're a past person that's in the past, and you're always talking about what happened in the past and remembering what happened in the past. Now, I'm talking about good memories or even painful memories, but that thing that you're stuck there, which one dominates your life? And here's the problem for most people. They can't identify it. Have you ever been around somebody who has an issue, but they don't know what everybody else does? One of my favorite quotes. This is one of my favorite quotes of my whole lifetime, and I've said it so many times. And it's really off the subject, but it gives you an idea what I'm talking about. It says, the strange thing about conceit is it makes everybody sick but the person who has it. Did you get that? The strange thing about arrogance is it makes everybody sick but the person who has it. Why is that? Because the person's walking around, don't even know, everybody's going, oh, you're unbearable. So have you been around somebody who has issues they haven't identified in their life? You're not one of those people, are you, right? You're not one of those people that every time you get with a family or somebody, you start talking about so-and-so who did something so many years ago. Yeah, I still hate them. I still can't believe they. You're not that person, right? A lot of people can't identify it. They don't know that they're a past dweller. They don't know that they literally, their every day is consumed by what happened in their past. They don't see it. And so it really comes down to identifying what happened in your life, because many of us do not realize we are shackled to the past, that we are blind to the reality that we are obsessed with the past. And if you're doing that, you're not moving forward. Here's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Hopefully Jonathan will be here tomorrow. It's Thursday. And then on Friday, so how do I move on? Okay, so if I identify today, if this week I've come to the realization that there's some things in my past that really I got to back up and deal with. Like Paul said, this thing I do, forgetting what lies behind, I press. If you realize that's happening, what do? I'm going to give you some things tomorrow. Yeah, it's sad when a person has that going on. They're a preacher too. Well, preachers are just people, honey. They sure are, and sometimes they get all messed up. Just have to pray for them. God bless that preacher, whoever that is she's talking about, that they can get broken free from the past. Just because you're standing behind the pulpit don't mean you got your act together. It's a reality. Pray for Melinda Dotson today. She's in recovery from surgery. And also Andrea Kirk down there. She's been very, very sick. She's in Big Stone Gap. I think she's in the nursing home. I think she has viral meningitis. Very sick. Okay, kids, our day's done. We're out of here. That music means I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm about to do the credits and watch all the delays catch up, because, I say something and about 10 seconds later you see it. So that's why I don't always immediately respond to your comments. I don't see them. Okay, kids, that's it. Love you guys. Let's get done with the past and move on. Figure out where you're going, what God has for you. Don't waste any more of your days, your life. Love you. God bless you. Watching you guys, hanging out with us for 932 shows. Have a good day, Lisa. Thank you, Patty. You have a great day. Bless you, Peggy. Happy Wednesday, Catherine. Whoa, I'm on my way. Yeah.